What's news, Artifam? This is Artifact News coming to you with episode number 16, the Air Force One Forge. This is a huge deal. I mean, in one of my previous videos, I think it was the Artifact 2023, I gave about a 35% chance that we were going to see the Air Force Ones this year. And boom, here it is. I'm pretty surprised, and pleasantly surprised. And, you know, we got to check out the lookbook. It looks great. I mean, these shoes are iconic. If you ask me, that means the numbers, the inventory numbers are so low on these. The rarity is insane. It's so weird. I think when we fast forward a year or two into the future, you know, season 2's out, season 3's out, or whatever, we're gonna look back at this season 1 moment and just be like, oh my god, I wish I would have grabbed like way more of those. That's what I think is gonna happen, right? I think everyone is just here right now taking our position for granted and not really kind of understanding it. Things aren't looking that great, partially because we're in a bear market, but also, you know, people are fighting to get back against the bear, and Bitcoin's kind of pushing out, and so is Ethereum. So not like a really great situation for NFTs at the moment, but that momentum's just going to build. There's going to be another bull market. Things are going to go crazy, and hopefully we're all in the right positions at that point, right? So in this video, we're going to talk about 3 things primarily. First, we're going to get into the lookbook and talk about the Forge. Second, we're going to talk about the Murakami Animus and just what that could mean for the entire Animus ecosystem. And you know it wouldn't be an Artifact News video unless we were trying to tie that incoherently to Yuga, okay? And, you know, kind of like in a joking way, right? Not totally serious, but there is a little something there. So why not talk about it? And then finally, we're going to talk about the Nvidia and Artifact partnership. And also, around that same line of thinking, just some of the stuff that they're doing with the creators in general. Beb's been putting out a ton of tutorial videos. They've been great, making it super easy to use Clone Tools version 2. And the community's really doing that and showing up to live events and having a lot of fun. So that's what today's video is going to be about. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a long time since the last video. I moved to a different state. It's been a long haul just getting the whole studio up and running, but I'm finally there, feeling great. Probably going to push out some more videos on a more regular basis. So yeah, there hasn't been a ton of news going on, but there's always something cooking out here, right? Like I'm still super excited, even though there's all this battling going on. There's a lot of toxicity out here, but this is it, man. This is going to be kind of defining moments right here. So just getting in the right position and making sure that you got the right bags packed at the right time. It's exciting. So, if there's anything that you would like me to talk about in general, if you're working on like a project or something, you would like me to highlight it or something like that, please let me know. There is honestly so many subgroups and so many different things going on out here. I actually start feeling weird when I like highlight one group or another, because then there's like 15 other groups that I might not be highlighting, and I know how that can feel if you're getting left out like that, man. It's just not good. So honestly, it makes me just kind of retract. But if you want me to mention something about your team and I haven't yet, please let me know. So I think that's about it. We're all caught up and it's time to have some fun. So let's dive into this video and see what we got. All right, so first things first, let's dive into the lookbook. Before we do though, I did want to take a look at the new OpenSea page. And I wanted to talk to anybody who might be here for the first time, okay? If you are looking to get a sneaker, a physical sneaker, you still can. You have until hold on a second, May 8th. After May 8th, no one's going to be able to redeem a new sneaker, a physical, using the NFT. That's it. There's a forging window. It's 12 days. It lasts from April 24th until May 8th. So if you're looking to get a sneaker, you can still get a physical right now at OpenSea. And you can see here, there's all kinds of information on this page. It's not fitting that well on my screen at the moment. There's not even much I can do about it, about the size here, but basically most of what you need to know in terms of the technicalities and stuff, they're all here. Like, yeah, you know what? I was going to read off the numbers, but let's just dive into the lookbook and check that out first. And I'm going to go through this lookbook, honestly, in order of my favorite pairs, because why not? All right, so my number one, and you may have guessed it from the thumbnail, is the Murakami DNA. Now I don't have these, unfortunately. And you know, 4.7 ETH. Now, if you think about it, like, what is that going for right now? Gosh, that's over $8,000 at the moment. That's pretty expensive, right? But look how sick they are. And there's only 167 of these in the world. Oh man, I don't know, man. When you listen to like a serious sneakerhead, because I love sneakers and I would collect them all day long. I really love the whole subculture. I'm into it. I understand why people love it with the art and the craftsmanship, the rarity, and the whole vibe. I love that. But like the reason why I say I'm not a real sneakerhead is because I've met real sneakerheads since joining Clone X. And man, I can't even compare. I don't even like to put myself in that category because I've met dudes who's got like, I don't even know, 300 pairs of sneakers. And they don't have regular Walmart sneakers. They have all of the sickest ones you could possibly imagine. And they know everything about all of the designers. Like, they keep up on it. Like, they're serious, man. They're like historians, you know? So whether I'm Baron, it comes to mind, and definitely Johnny Kicks, man. Like, if you guys ever have a chance to listen to anything Johnny Kicks is talking about, like, he's a straight up historian. They're like archaeologists out here, and they know everything about this stuff. So, but listening to Johnny talk about it, 167 is just an insanely low number. And right now, most of the traditional sneakerheads are just not here right here. They're not into this culture at the moment. But with, like, no matter how you cut it, that's an Air Force One right there. That's a Nike Air Force One dual logo with an Artifact logo. That's got to be one of the first times Nike's ever allowed an Artifact or anybody to have a logo on one of their landmark shoes. A lot of people are saying that Nike's not supporting Artifact at all. Are you kidding me right here? Like, they would never let anybody share a shoe with their logo. And I mean, I guess they did with the Jordan brand, but they ended up spinning that off into its own conglomerate, right? But like, splitting that logo on an Air Force One is a big deal. It shows a lot of support, if you ask me. And this shoe, there's only 167 of them, and the design is super sick. I love the translucent blade, and of course, like, Murakami's artwork's insane. So, we're talking about Murakami too, right? Like, gosh, one of the most profound contemporary artists that's still alive out here. I mean, he's an absolute legend, and he doesn't work on clothing all of the time. And this is kind of what you hope would happen, is that you could get a living legend like that to work with a company like Nike on such a famous shoe that we all love. So it's like an artist that we love on a shoe that we all love, and just coming together and crushing it. Like, what I love about this shoe is they didn't take a whole lot of gambles and do something outlandish that was going to miss the mark. They killed it. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They came in with the sick design. They innovated on the blade. I love the lace protector right here too. Like, what a great accent. You know, thoughtful, and that's exactly the kind of touch, man, that everybody's gonna love, dude. Like, there's only 167 of these. It's got the sick lace guard. It's featured one of the most legendary and iconic contemporary artists of all time. And it's got a dual blade. It's got the dual logo blade. I mean, no wonder why they're going for $8,000 already. And I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, when you hear some of the sneakerheads talk, like, they're talking about people spending $90,000 on shoes, and those shoes have much larger runs than 167. Okay, much larger runs. This is a very small run. So that's going to be super interesting to see what these are worth like in 10 years. I can't even wait to see it. So that's my number one shoe. Now number two, I mean, this alien, man, that is just super profound right there. The color is amazing. I can't even zoom in here, but we'll be able to see it down farther. Let's see. Here's a detail right here. If you really want to know too, if you're like new to the game here and you haven't been following along with this or whatever, like, there's a ton of information on this lookbook that really gets specific about why that particular shoe is innovative. It's a huge piece of information. I'm glad they did that, because it's something that they knew that we'd like to know. But look at this right here, like the alien shoes featuring the never before seen enamel finish molded midsole wrap. And that makes these shoes as stylish as they are comfortable. But there's only 60 of these. 60. And you know, right now they're going for about 12 grand. So they're expensive. But you know, to a lot of the, like I said, like a lot of the historians, I mean, $12,000 isn't that much, because there are a lot of shoes that are going for over $90,000, right? And you've got to think about, some of those shoes have, like, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 piece runs or more. This is 60. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that blade, it's got that 3D effect. It's kind of popping out. That purple is just really, really vibrating perfectly off of that green. The laces look sick. They're like patent. They've got that patent leather feel with that futuristic green. But then here is like what everybody's kind of talking about, is this pattern here, the alien pattern. And you know, what a detail, right? Like that can't be easy. They really went all out on this, and it's beautiful, to be honest. So yeah, that's number two. Now I'm kind of freestyling here, right? So I can't tell you like that this is like gonna be perfect, but I really do love these reptiles. And you know, I think like the main reason why I love them is gosh, it really does have some weird snaky feeling to it, or like reptilian flavor to it. They really went all out on the type of leather it is with that pattern. And gosh, it does not look standard by any, like the different panels, like you can tell the different panels have different size of features on them in terms of like the reptilian look. So there's only 399 pairs of these. Now my list isn't really in order, just straight up based on quantity, because I think they're all such low runs, like whatever, but there's 400 of these. And they definitely make a statement. And by the way, like that jacket and hoodie just looks so much cooler than I was imagining. That's a really killer combo right there, and gonna look great with the shoes. Like, Yeah, I mean, so look, like you can see on this front panel here, like the larger kind of scales, and then in the back you got these like really small scales, and then in the middle, I mean, wow. Good luck. Anybody who thinks that this is easy or anything like that, I dare you to try to make that. That's not easy, and they killed it. And it looks way more reptilian than I thought it was gonna. So yeah, number 3, looking awesome. So this is where it gets weird, because I'm gonna have to go. Man, I'm gonna go with the other Kami here, because I just think it just pops. It's got a really good pop to it. The colors are really cool, really instantly identifiable with the Murakami flowers, and I love the lace holes. This blue stripe on the back, with the blue accent here. Like this one's full of like these small details, like the eyelets for the laces. I love those. That blue. They just like sprinkled in a nice little amount of blue here and there to really like set it all off. And obviously like the Murakami flower is just iconic. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go too far in depth with every single one of these shoes, but I love these. And, you know, like I said, it's not all about quantity. There's 4,100 of these. It's like probably one of the most in the whole collection, but still looking really cool. My next in line is probably the Angels. They're clean, they're golden, and more importantly, they're semi-transparent, which I like that because it's a new idea. I mean, I'm sure there's been other shoes like that, but in this collection, it's kind of like a pretty fresh concept where you can have different socks on and kind of play off the shoe in a different way and kind of change the whole feel of the shoe. And, you know, I did pick up some Angels. Wish I would have got the socks, but I just like that concept that like you can layer in a weird way that I haven't really seen too much of. Plus they're clean. They're going to go with most things that you wear. And yeah, I don't know. I love them. I think they represent the whole Angel vibe well, and they got the gold going on. So 1,327 of them. Translucent thing wins it for me for this, for their position here. Yeah, so what's next? I mean, I think, you know, Undead, and honestly, this would probably go higher. I think it's really hard to ignore the rarity here because there's only 190. So while, you know, rarity is not really affecting my list that much, but if you're being like a real serious collector here, there's only 190 of these. That's not much. And, you know, the fits that they have kind of put together here look really great together. And that green looks so good up against that black. That black is their black, and it's based on that Vanta black, which is like ultra black, or like the ultimate black that reflects almost no light, right? So it's got the black hole black on it, and it pops off of the green. The green pops right off of it. And then you have the green eyelets, the green stitching. So, you know, I mean, yeah, they look great. I don't know. They could have maybe jumped a little higher. Like, unfortunately, I'm not going to get to see these up close. And then you got to think about that. Like, there's only 190, so I'll probably never see these things up close. Like, because there's so few. That's crazy. But, you know, if there was like maybe some like more undeadish kind of feel on some of the leather, but maybe there is when you see it up close. They look great. The color scheme's awesome. And yes, I would love them. The skull on the back looks so sick. These are great. I love them. 190. Here we go. You know, it's just so weird, like even trying to rank these either, because like I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go with the humans right next because I don't know, man. They just got like they just look like a piece of cake or something, don't they? I mean, they're just like nice and I don't know. It's a color combo that you don't really see that often. It really honestly is reminiscent of the Tiffany shoe a little bit, but I saw this concept before we saw the Tiffany concepts. I don't know. There's only 1,986 pairs worldwide, which is great. It's got a cotton canvas, and I think that is what is making it look so soft. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so now you can really see what's going on here. It's a cotton canvas. So they're not leather, right? I mean, they must not be leather. They're just like draped in a really tight cotton. That's what it looks like. Yeah, cotton canvas or something like. Wow. You know, honestly, that might play a factor here because I really like that. I haven't seen that often. It's molded really tight and it's a cotton and it makes them look really super soft. So, gosh, I guess those could have ultimately ranked higher, but yeah, I think I'm good with them there. Let's see. So we have 3 left. Of these 3 here, and you know, I have to go with the demon, and they're really mean looking. There's only 1,031 of these, and I don't know. I mean, the blade definitely is the feature on this. It's got some kind of almost like a scale type thing, kind of signifying some kind of a dragon or demon. And they look great. I mean, honestly, maybe one of the more like just functional pairs that you can just wear the most often. And the heel looks awesome on it too. So, yeah. I don't know. They look great. I don't see anything that's just totally stand out about them, but they're like epic still. You know, it's like you definitely want them because you can wear them with a lot of different things, and they look completely bad to the bone. I don't know. I think they're great, and I don't want anybody to like get me wrong here. I think all these shoes are great, and I hate ranking them honestly, but it's kind of fun. But you know, I wouldn't take it too seriously because like these robots, I'm probably gonna be ranking last. But this is like just straight up personal for me. So, you know, hey, this is my list, not financial advice. These things, you can still go purchase them. Like, don't purchase them based on my list right here. This is just like what I like. You can't lose with any of these shoes. So, you know, form your own opinion on it. I'm just giving you mine because it's kind of fun to rank them and see what other people might think. But I like these because that outfit that she's wearing right there is just, that's what I want to wear from now on. That whole outfit. The pants, the shoes, and that hoodie is the sickest hoodie out here. It looks great. So, yeah, the Vanta Black, I think, you know, even more than the Demons, but it's going to be impossible without seeing them side by side. But like even more than the Demons, it seems like they're really, really popping with that. With like how serious the black hole is. But you know, I think the Demons are still better because they seem just a little bit more polished, I guess, in a way. But these just offer like a different feel. I'd say that these are just a little bit more dynamic, maybe. Maybe not as polished, but more dynamic. Oh, it's even got the Clonix on there. That's pretty cool. So, God, they really killed that Genesis collection. I really love it. So, yeah, then the robots are last, but hey, not least, because they're great looking. And I didn't think they were going to look as good as they do. To be honest, I mean, if somebody said, hey, those are my favorite ones in the whole collection, I would be like, yeah, I hear you. Because I think there's only 1,000 of them. No, 1,100 of these. So, but look, I mean, if you listen to some of the description here, okay, let's check this out for a second. Designed with a vacuum laminated PU textile composite material and underlay material of mirror ripstop mesh for superior durability and breathability. Okay, so that's how that goes. And they look great. So obviously, just like a robot, super technical. A lot of stuff going on with these. So yeah, the robot symbol. They're killer. I mean, like I said, you really can't go wrong with any of these at all. And you know, like the Murakami DNA and the Alien are just like, they're mad expensive, so kind of out of the most leagues. But I can't imagine, you know, not being able to find something that you like. I mean, look, see how like the dual blade, or you got the blade on one side and the swoosh on the other. Like, yeah, I don't know. It seems like that's a lot of respect from Nike to include Artifact on that. So let's give them a break on that for a second. Okay, so yeah, that's the lookbook. All right, so now it's time for a little Murakami Animus analysis. And this came by way of this tweet right here. March 13th. One more tweet. See you in Japan on April 30th, 2023. For the Gaisai event in Tokyo, April 30th, 2023. Which I believe is a competitive event for artists. I think there's an event for artists that are under 29, and then there's another event for artists that are over 30. But I believe it's a competitive event. So, this was a shocker, big time. And right underneath, this was like the one that kind of sent it out of the park right here. Last tweet. Yes, this is a Murakami Animus. Oh man. So, huge deal, right? Like, if the Animus has been in the dark this entire time, it's this huge IP that's looming on the horizon. We haven't had any information about it at this point. And it's the next huge phase for Artifact. So to get any piece of artwork would be insane, but not only did we get a piece of artwork, but we got the Murakami artwork. Also proving that the Animus are going to have a tie into the 8 DNA. I mean, this doesn't necessarily signify that it's definitely going to have a tie-in with other DNA. Maybe the Murakami aspect is just a one-off. And, you know, maybe we're not going to be seeing reptiles and angels and demons and, you know, aliens and stuff, but this kind of showing us that that's a strong possibility. I mean, but the artwork is incredible, isn't it? Like, look at that. It looks great. I mean, let's get in here a little closer, but yeah, I don't know. What can we make out of that? I mean, one thing, obviously, that the Animus is wearing shoes. It's wearing the Murakami shoes. There's a good chance then that we can possibly outfit the Animus. And this information, this is March 13th, so we're already like this is like a month ago. This is kind of old information here. But I still think it's just as as relevant as ever, because the Animus is coming up. So I don't know that we can really speculate on this too much at this point. I mean, I don't know. I think it looks great. I love the artwork, but I gotta tell you, and you know me, I guess I'll figure out a way to put a little conspiracy theory sauce on it. And of course I did. But now I'm not just looking for some way to tie in Yuga with this, okay? I'm not. That would be kind of weird. I'm not into that. I literally saw this, and I was working with on the Kodamaras, or understanding what was going on with the other deeds, because I do own a couple of other deeds. And while I was looking at it, I just couldn't help but notice how close the structure of the Animus is to the Kodamara. And the Kodamara is a new creature, a companion that's coming out for other deeds for the Yuga system. Okay. How serious is this? Okay, I mean, it's pretty serious. I feel like it's pretty serious. This is what I mean by this. JKB, I wrote a whole tweet about this, where I was just like, I've gone too far with the not Akoda theory in the past. And I get that. But here we are again with an art style that is so similar, it's hard to ignore. And I wanted to ignore it, but we're being mauled by the bear market, and the only armor I have is a tinfoil hat. So that was the tweet I sent out, and JKP was just like, no, don't even go there. It's definitely not. Here's my point, though. And that was a hilarious exchange, by the way. Thank you, JKP. But I'm saying, imagine that you were in an art class, okay? And the teacher was like, okay, everybody, draw me a companion for this. Just draw me a companion of a companion that you would have, okay? Just draw me a companion. Wow, I haven't said companion that much in my whole life. Here's my thing. If two people that were kind of sitting next to each other brought these two drawings up there, she would think they copied off each other. Or he, whoever the teacher is. Do you know what I'm saying, though? Look at that's not very... And this is going to launch me back into not Akoda territory. I get it. Look at that, though, dude. Tiny feet. Huge, crazy upper body. The structure is almost precisely identical structure. Just as the Koda structure was almost exactly the same as the not Akoda. It's just so close. Why? Why would it be that close? Did they hire the same dude or something to concept this stuff? Or are they working together in some way? Or is this just some very cosmic stuff right here, where two people on different sides of the world both sat down and to Illustrator or Photoshop, and they both drew the same type of structure for our character? I guess, man. I mean, I'm feeling crazy trying to tie all this Yuga stuff in here, but hey, if you think I'm crazy, you bring those two pictures to an art instructor, and you ask them if two students drew those two things, if you think they copied off each other, then that teacher's going to say yes, in my opinion. Not saying that's what happened, okay? Don't hate me on this, but so that's my, my Animus Murakami thing. I mean, when are we gonna see? Let's get off the not a coda, the coda section of this real quick and just talk about this. What is this gonna mean? I mean, those look like launchers on the end of the Animus arms. In some way, maybe they're gonna be paint launchers, similar to what Zayd just kind of dropped. Something like that would be pretty cool. We still don't understand what's going on yet with the incubators and the hibernation chambers and how they relate to Animus. Maybe, I've heard some people say that possibly, like, if you have a Murakami in the hibernation chamber and you have an egg in the incubator, maybe that influences the egg's DNA. Or, there's all kinds of ways that this could all play out. It could just be random too. I know probably the majority of people are going to say that they would want it to be random. And I can almost guarantee you that every single Murakami and alien holder and undead holder don't want it to be random, and they want it to be tied into the DNA. So, huge news though. And the event is coming up on the 30th. Okay, so that's about 16 days away from this video right here. Maybe we're gonna get a big piece of information there. I mean, why would you drop this Murakami Animus right now? And tying it in conjunction with this event, if you weren't gonna drop some type of Animus information during that event. And, just so there's no disconnection here, I would almost assume that people are going to be thinking that there's Animus information coming during this event. I'd be surprised if there's not. So, okay, that's all. I'm not going to go too much farther with it, but that's my 2 cents on the Animus Murakami Animus. Now let's jump into the final segment of this, which is going to be the Nvidia partnership, and then just some other things that are happening around the community, and then we'll wrap this video up. So, all right, let's go. All right, so now it's time for the third and final component of this video, where we're going to discuss the Nvidia and Artifact partnership, and then we're going to kind of do a little bit of a community highlight reel, just kind of highlight some of the communities that are out there doing some things with the clones and putting a lot of time and effort into the things they do. So I just wanted to give a little bit of love out. And all right, yeah, let's get it moving here. So for Nvidia, now, why is this a big deal? Like, this is, as they describe it, a partnership. Maybe they just mean that in kind of like the loose terms, how some people like, hey, you're my partner in this endeavor that we're doing. Sometimes partnerships actually mean like a financial relationship, some kind of a limited liability type partnerships or things like that. I don't know that it has anything to do with financials, or is one of them paying the other one, or are they both just working towards something together? I know Nvidia has a ton of tech that Artifact can use. But either way, whatever the details really are, I guess we'll kind of figure that out later. But it's really cool, right? I mean, Nvidia is a powerhouse. Man, I don't even know. They're slowly becoming one of the most important companies in the world. And now with the advancements in artificial intelligence, like, have you been checking this out? Because it's going incredibly fast out here. Like, almost every YouTube show that I watch, from like Lex Friedman or the All In podcast, or God, I don't know, just most of the ones that I'm seeing out there are talking about artificial intelligence, and they're all freaking out about it because apparently it's getting pretty out of hand and it's moving really, really fast here. I mean, people thinking we're on the verge of the Matrix out here. So anyway, Nvidia, they are just super advanced. I mean, they're into all of the highest end technology, from artificial intelligence to chipsets and semiconductors and transistors, and like but also the software end of things, and how like integrating all of these like high-powered GPUs that can bust out all of these calculations that allow for all of this like really intricate software to do wild things, especially artificially intelligent wise. So for Artifact to be in with them, it's kind of like Artifact being in with Nike, or Artifact being in with Rimowa, or like Artifact being in with Takashi. It's just right place, right time, right partnership. Super strategic, and just like so weird because like the sentiment out there is so negative, but like if you just take a second to look what's going on, like these super crazy strategic moves are being made out here, and like the kind of like concoction that is all coming together to make is going to be super potent. So they're juggernauts. I mean, Nvidia is a juggernaut. Nike is a juggernaut. Really hard to compete with. There's like very few companies that have anywhere near the wherewithal to compete with those companies, both from just an infrastructure aspect, just like from the factories and all the supply chain lineups and everything they have going on, but also just the software, the in-house knowledge, the tribal knowledge, the things that other people just don't know. Those companies are way far out there, and Artifact's in with both of them. So it's a pretty big deal. I thought they were just speaking at Nvidia and just kind of talking about some of the stuff that they're doing, but then they're talking about partnerships throughout this video. So maybe it's a little deeper than that. I don't know how deep, but it's interesting. So what kind of things did they talk about here? Well, they're talking, obviously about like the graphical stuff, but also the creator community, but they're talking about artificial intelligence as well, a lot in here. So we're talking about having your clone powered by artificial intelligence as your representative in some cases, or as your compatriot in other cases, like working with you side by side, or filling in for you when you can't be there, or I don't know. I mean, with as fast as things are going, I feel like we're about to be agents for the clones. And not very good ones, because they're probably going to be better at being agents than us. But there's going to be this weird relationship where it's going to come down to like clone management. And I mean, whether that's like from the artificial intelligence athletic league, which is what I would really love to see, where the clones are acting as athletes, 24/7, 365, playing all different kinds of sports and getting better all of the time and competing on your behalf. So if they win, you win. That's super interesting. Also, I mean, if your clone can act, you can give all kinds of different voices. It's going to be up to you to procure like the outfits and like its look and everything like that. But, this thing's going to be able to act. Gestures are coming with AI, all of that. Like that's just going to replicate things that humans do. And the measuring stick's going to be how well they do that, and they're seemingly doing it very well. You've heard the Kanye West AI stuff, like it's indistinguishable. So yeah, maybe these things are going to become musicians on our behalf, or they're going to become actors or athletes, or I don't know. But I will say Nvidia is going to help Artifact get there. And wow, I don't know if people are paying attention, but I would not be wanting to compete with Artifact. If you're looking at all of these other teams out here and they're having fun and they're doing their thing and stuff, but Artifact has just one of the just elite. They got this elite lineup going. And I don't want to keep beating the dead horse here, but like, Nike's practically unmatched. There's probably like 5 companies in the world that can compete with them on that level for mass manufactured clothing, but then marketing as well, right? Like their marketing is almost as impressive as their manufacturing. But then the same thing with Nvidia, and their supply chains are so rigorous, and they've been going for so long and so strong. It's just like if Nike's putting together a team, or if RTFKT's putting together a team, they're putting together a championship team. And not many other people are noticing or doing that. They're playing like a championship team, and that's what I want to see. You know, if you look at some of the athletes that Nike's always worked with, you know, Jordan and Kobe, two of my favorites, like they just super strategic. You know, they played loosey-goosey kind of like in their early careers, but they became just cold-blooded strategists. You know, no weaknesses in their game. They could play defense, they could pass, they could obviously play offense. And they just looked at the court and they just played it strategically. And that's what RTFKT and Nike are doing right now. This Nvidia partnership is a huge deal. I don't know. What other graphic manufacturer, what other people have the capability of Nvidia? There's maybe like 5 other companies in the world that can do what they can do. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess most of it is going to come down to graphical graphical ability and pushing the graphics farther and faster, and then the other aspect is going to be AI. But who knows how else that's all going to work together. But I'm happy as a clone holder that happened. So I hope it's a very great relationship and they take it to the championship. Let's win it, right? Okay, so that's the Nvidia section of this. You know, just like I said, it's vital, it's important. But let's move on now to some of the community highlights here, and then we're gonna wrap up this video. So yeah, let's check it out for a second here. Now, there's like some communities out there, and I hate even doing this because not only are there just many communities that I don't even interact with all of the time, and like not including them is like a heartbreaker for me and for them. If I don't mention you here or something, like just reach out to me and I'll throw you in a different video or something, because I want to try to highlight everybody. But these are just ones that like they've been here since Jump. I was here since Jump, and we were just I was interacting with them. So one would be, gosh, what do we got here? Like Conspiracy. And I just put, Jack, I believe started it, or Jack Grills, and then there's Baron, who's always in there strong, supporting. And, Conspiracies, they have spaces on Monday and Friday. Friday in the morning, Mondays in the evening. If you want to know the details on that, just follow Jack Grills or Baron. I'm sure they both have links to Conspiracies throughout their Twitter pages. But yeah, as the name suggests, it's just like talking about conspiracies, getting hype, and taking a look at what's going on and kind of forming some theories around that. So it's a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely check that out. Another one is emerging like a beast lately. This is Bad Take. I've heard they're going to zero, but this is a hilarious. They host spaces almost every night. Super hard workers. They're putting in like 4 or 5 hour spaces, if not more than that. But yeah, I mean, I didn't even include everybody that really contributes to all of this. I think Compound and Dre kind of like really leading the way on it, but like Kuro and Deep and I think Pompeia and like there's a lot of people that are contributing to it. But what you're gonna get with Bad Take is they're hilarious, but they also know what they're talking about. They're very strategic, and they just have like the whole game down. So you're gonna learn a lot, and you're gonna laugh like crazy. So definitely check out Bad Take if you get a chance. Pretty sure it's every night, but I would go to Compound at Dre Mill or maybe Kuro or Deep, and like go to their Twitter, follow them, and jump into Bad Take. Check it out. I think it's pretty much every night at like 6, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Check it out for yourself. So another one is hey man, Late Night GM. And this is a show with Alt Anonymous and Ethylorian, and they just kind of philosophize and talk. And they're both mega smart. They've been super OG status. They're real hip on the whole Luxo situation, but they just have good takes all around. And they're, real brilliant dudes. So, yeah, follow both of them and check out Late Night GM. It's hilarious. And once again, just like really good takes and good information. So, yeah, check that out for sure. And then the Queens of Clone X. This is again like I feel bad here because I'm hoping I'm not missing anybody. I probably am, but yeah, I'm Anya, Fawn, Frankie, Margu, like, and I know Cass is in there a lot too. So like Cass is always supporting too, but so is JKB is always in there too, always giving a lot of information and stuff. But yeah, these are the queens right here, and they will host Twitter Spaces, and I don't know, just again like a bunch of really great information and fresh perspectives, and again hilarious. I don't know what's up, but we got like a bunch of stand-up comedians in here, but it's just enjoyable to listen to, and I don't know, really great takes. So again, like you'll be better off by listening to it. So yeah, follow them and follow the Queens of Clone X for sure. So yeah, that's about it for the communities that I'm going to highlight this go round. But again, like if you want to throw your community in here, let me know, and I'll add it to the show. Also, I wanted to talk about, I thought this was really awesome. Did you guys see this? This is the Taipei Fashion Week, where the clothing was like Clone X clothing, which is super cool. I mean, it's like next level stuff right here. I'm gonna throw this other picture. Should I have it? Yeah, right here. Like, this clothing is super sick. They look great, and it's all cloned out. It's like, those are, I mean, it's hard. I can't even like, can I get this thing larger? I don't know if you can see that they're actually like a bunch of clones all over the clothing. And the clothing has all kinds of great cuts and stuff on it. Like it's, yeah, mad talented. I thought this was great. So I wanted to give some props to the 2023 Taipei Fashion Week, and the Clone X aspect was just beautiful. So yeah, thank you for repping. That is amazing. And last but not least, I wanted to give some love to Beb, who put together just so many great tutorials lately. If you're new to Clone X and you're like a little shaky about whether you want to do the whole 3D model thing and stuff, you got to do it. Like, it's so much fun. And Beb has put together so many great tutorials. They're on the official Artifact YouTube channel, and just go there and power through those tutorials because they're not really that hard. Beb was a community member, and he really was pushing and developing software and stuff to make things easier for people, for clones, to get their 3D models up and running. But he's taking it to a whole nother level now. And if you follow the Artifact YouTube channel, you'll see how easy it really is, because I'm talking like 3 or 4 clicks and you're doing some really cool stuff with your clone. So yeah, tons of love for Beb. Those videos are great, by the way, too. Keep doing those. Those are really appreciated. But I wanted to show some of these videos, because now that they're doing those kinds of tutorial things, you know, you have OnCyber, you have HyperFi, these programs that are allowing us to bring in VRM models into these environments. So now, like, all kinds of new types of social interaction is happening. People are hosting parties, like Tropics just hosted a party tonight, actually. But let's see. Okay, so this is the Artifact NYC meet. It kind of has like this video game feel on this right here, which is really cool. Look at this. Ava, Tropics, Zen Cheetah, Nate, Navi, Will, Charlie, Mentacats, Lady Cats, Von Sol, Shekinah, Zwist, Zhu, President, Zeus. I mean, like, this is great. Boo. Hodl CEO. Like, what's awesome about this, like, this looks like a straight up video game right here. Whoever did this, like, crushed this, by the way. Love this. But these are all the people that were, like, helping with this NFT NYC meetup that happened. And here's the video of it. Check this out. This is great looking. Oh, I need to... Yeah, I need to lower the music on this because I think I might get a copyright strike. So, no music, unfortunately, but if you check it out on Twitter, there's really great music that goes along with this. But look at this. They put together the club. Everyone's partying. By the way, like, so there was a party going on in HyperFi. There was a party going on in OnCyber. Meanwhile, there's a real party going on in New York City. So just the craziness. Like, things are getting insane out here. But there's Meta Mike. Oh, by the way, whoever did the bodega upstairs in the space pod, I loved that. I loved how you guys decorated everything. So, yeah, here we go. Like, okay, you know, we've been in the bear market. That bull market's going to be coming around at some point. But you can just kind of feel the train is starting to, you know, those wheels are starting to turn on the train to where it'll be a freight train by the time things are ready. You know, who knows when that's going to be, but things are looking pretty active out here. And it's really interesting. So great job on all of that, guys. Tropics, killing it. Keep it going. And yeah, I loved it. So yeah, that's about it. So thank you for joining me on episode number 16. It's been a while since I posted the last video, but now that the studio is up and running, I got all the wires finally hidden. That took forever. But now I'm feeling good, and it's time to start making some more videos again. And hey, we got a lot coming up, right? Like, you've got the crypto kicks in real life. We got the delivery of the Airforce One, the Forge here. But we're gonna have the actual physical delivery of those. And then also of the crypto kicks in real life. Then we're gonna have Animus coming up here. And, you know, I don't know. I suspect there's just gonna be more cool ways to use your clone. So I know at some point the Ramoa is coming up, the Ramoa drop, but Animus is going to be a huge deal, and that's, I think, our real next big milestone, because there's no telling how that's going to play out, but I'm fired up to find out. So Thank you again for joining me. Please like and subscribe this if you can. It takes 2 seconds and it completely helps out. I think I have about 170 subscribers right now. There's about 9,500 clones. So let's go ahead and get those subscriptions going. And I don't know, because I really like doing this and the support really helps. So there's no doubt about that. So much love to the whole community. Glad to be back. And just remember, go news yourself. Thanks. Peace.